Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to describe about the trigonometry. So let's get started. So what is trigonometry at the first point? The study of the relation in between the sides of a right angle triangle to its angular component theta is called trigonometry. Right? So I have drawn here a right angle triangle. You can see I have marked them B, small h, capital H and theta. So what are them? Capital H is the hypotenuse, the longest side of a right angle triangle. So if you sum them, this must be greater than them, right? This is the greatest side, longest in length. You must have read it in your lower classes. And these are the short forms. This will be handy in doing calculations. And what is theta? Basically the angular component, the angle between base and hypotenuse. Well, so I have written the definition of trigonometry for you. So do first write it. So trigonometry is the study of relation in between the ratios of the side of a right angle triangle to its angular component, right? Means how the ratio of the sides of a right angle triangle is related to its angular component, that is theta. And what is theta? Earlier I described you, it is the angle between base and hypotenuse. And there are various types of ratios that are defined in trigonometry. The most basic one are sin theta and cos theta, and tan theta. So what do we mean by sin theta? Height by hypotenuse. As here I have written, this is height, this is hypo, and this is base, right? I have made you understand. So sin theta is height by hypo, cos theta is base by hypo, and tan theta is sin by cos theta, that is hypotenuse gets cancelled, and height by base, if we divide this, right? And this is known as elevation, right? So I will be telling you more about tan theta and its significance and everything. So at first write this definition of trigonometry, draw it, and the basic things you write it first. So I'm holding, I think you have wrote it, so I will be rubbing the thing. So I was telling that I will be telling about in details what is sin theta is. So let's get started. What is sin theta? Sin is the ratio between height and hypotenuse of a right angle triangle. So sin, S-I-N-E, is the proper word, and we use sin theta, that's abbreviated from, right? So height by height by hypotenuse, this ratio is termed as sin theta, and graphically we can represent it as like this. So what does it says? If we take the y-axis sin theta and x-axis theta, then the graph will be starting from the origin, right? As you can see right here, it starts from origin and then slowly moves in the upper side 1 to its maximum value, then again 0, then again most minimum value, and then again 0. So graph of sine is always like this. 0 starts maximum, then again 0, then again most minimum, then 0, and then again like maximum. The function is known as sine. This type of motion is known as sinusoidal motion. In physical reference you can find when pendulum moves. In your higher classes you will read that the equation of a pendulum is based on this sinusoidal function, right? So let's not get moved from our true discussion, and let's focus on the cosine theta, right? So I hope you have written this. I will be rubbing this and writing the cosine detailed structure, right? So what is cos theta? Cosine is the ratio in between base and hypotenuse of a right angle triangle that is cos theta is base of a right angle triangle divided by its hypotenuse. And how it starts? It always starts above the origin. You must remember, when a graph is given and told what is the graph of a cos and what is the graph of a sine, graph of a cos always starts above the origin when a graph is starting from 0, right? And this axis is theta. To write it, I forgot to write, so I'll be writing it. This is x equal to 0, theta, sorry, it's degree value, no? And one more thing, that is pi equal to 180 degree. If you are thinking pi by 2 is what, that is 90 degree, right? I'll be showing the rad value notation after, but for your understanding I just wrote it once. So I hope you can see this, and at first write it. I hope that you have wrote this. So it is known as cosine. You can think it of as a complementary sine function. When both works together in a square function, it will give you 1. That is the most basic and elementary equation of trigonometry. We'll be learning it later. I'll be showing, but I hope you have wrote this, so I'll be erasing it, right? Good. Well, I have told you about sine theta, I have told you about cos theta, but what on earth is tan theta? So tan theta is nothing but the ratio of sine theta to cos theta itself. See, height by hypo divided by base by hypo, height by base multiply hypo by hypo, it's height by base. And in class 9, I think you have read about the slope, that is the inclination of a line with respect to the given axes. If you did not, here is a small recap of it, that m is denoted as slope, and that is can be referred as also tan theta. You will read in your higher classes, class 11 and on higher also, and then in class 12 we will be reading about dy dx, that is infinitesimally small. If your graph the change in graph is very small, then it becomes dy dx, means very small change in y divided by very small change in x, that is very small change in height divided by very small change in base, refers to the slope or the gradient, that is known as differentiation. Well, let's not get that much further. I thought I must say this, that this is a very interesting topic. And by the way, if you are enjoying the video, do make sure to subscribe it, like it, and share this video to your friends. So let's move forward, right? So I hope you have wrote this. And if you are thinking why I did not mention the graph of tan theta, well, I will be mentioning it, but mostly tan theta's graph is not in use very much. But the sin theta and cos theta graph, you must read it. They will be asking questions on this, right? Let's move forward. Well, so this is the graph of tan theta. I will be showing you the table where the every data is written. There you will see that tan theta is not defined at pi by 2 and minus pi by 2. So every time pi by 2 or 3 pi by 2 arrives, the graph of tan theta snaps at infinity and again starts from minus infinity to again plus infinity. Means every after pi by 2 to pi by 2 and then 3 pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2 to 5 pi by 2, the tan theta graph snaps and again forms. So this is a bit abstract idea. So in class 10 you will not be requiring this, but for your general knowledge this graph is essential, right? I hope you have drawn this. So I will be rubbing it, pause it and draw it every time, right? Well, till now you have read so far what is sin theta, cos theta and tan theta. But there are more three formats of them. They are just the reciprocal of them. Cosec theta is reciprocal of sin theta, sec theta is reciprocal of cos theta, cot theta is reciprocal of tan theta. These reciprocals are in generally not considered that much in your classes, but you will be being given question to solve on them, but those graph of them are not very essential. So I am not showing. Definitely you must refer those graphs from some books, R.S. Agarwal or some books, right, and must learn about them. But as of now I will be showing you some very essential values of them. You can also find them in book, but I'm showing the values and some essential equations on trigonometry, basic equations, right? So let's get started. Well, but I thought I must show you the graphs. So here is the cosec theta graph. They are hyperbolas. That's why I told that this is not very essential. When you will be reading the conic section, then you will get to understand the what is hyperbole, what is parabolas, and this type of functions. Then it will make sense to you. But for right now, you just see what are this, right? So basically, this graph are drawn from the functions and their values, right? I will be showing you a table, then you can easily see why this graphs turns out to be like this. And for now, do draw these graphs and these equations. I hope you have drawn. Then I will be showing you one more table that is very essential to even understand these graphs, right? So I hope you have wrote this. I am erasing it, right? As you can see here, I have wrote the trigonometric table. You need to memorize it very well, and I have done my best to show you graphically. Then database using I am showing you right now, and here is radian to degree notation. Rad is noted as radian, degree is degree, you know. So pi is 180, and then by unitary method you can easily get them. So I hope I made this thing clear to you. So, and I will be talking about two basic equation today, and I will be doing that's for today's video. I will be doing two more equations, and after this the video will be completed. Well, I hope that you have write this whole thing in your copy. I'm holding it, pause it and write. So I hope you have wrote this. I'm erasing it. Well, how you can prove the sine square theta plus cos square theta equal to 1? We all know about the Pythagoras theorem, right? From our childhood we are reading it, that hypotenuse square equal to base square plus height square. If someone is reading in class 10, they must know it. So this one, and then divided by both side with hypotenuse square. What do we get? Here 1 as hypotenuse square by hypotenuse square is 1, base square by hypotenuse square plus height square by hypotenuse square. We are taking this in common and making it whole. Height by hypotenuse. Do you remind it what it is? Sine theta, and this is cos theta, right? Sine square theta plus cos square theta equal to 1. We proved it. So this is the thing, right? And I will be talking about one more important theorem that we can just derive it from right here. So I hope you have understand this and wrote it in your copy. I'm holding it, write it. I will be rubbing and making you understand one more theorem. I hope you have wrote. I'm erasing it. Well, as you can see, sine square theta plus cos square theta equal to 1. Divide both sides by cos square theta. Sine square theta by cos square theta, tan theta, sine theta by cos theta, tan theta, then square theta, as square gets whole above, and cos square theta by cos square theta cancel 1. Cos inverse is reciprocal is sec, so sec square theta equal to 1 plus tan square theta. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you enjoyed it, do like it, share it and subscribe the channel. So thank you. Well everybody, that's for today, and do write this one, and thank you for watching the channel. And if you liked it, do like the channel, subscribe it and share it with your friends, and stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.